Alright, there we go. And we're live. Welcome back. So, let's see. Last time we did a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah, so like font stuff and dialogue sort of window. Let's see if we can open up the game here and see what's going on. Oh yeah, so I changed out the custom sort of camera that I built, and now we're using the Raylib camera instead. And we have some more things to do, but the dialogue now looks okay. We got no more sort of rotation going on here. I think it's an optical illusion that it sort of goes up and down now. It doesn't really do that. I look at the bright pixels and then the contrast, it looks like, yeah. But anyway, yeah, and then we got the text almost perfect. However, I am probably gonna need to either like make my own font entirely, or take this and sort of extend it with some new letters that I'm gonna use. I think if I'm gonna make my own font though, it's gonna fix this issue with the artifacts. But then that also means that I have to, well, first of all I have to make the font, and then second I have to sort of remake like a draw text function. So yeah, but or maybe I can try and make the font work better, maybe, because this is sort of the first font that I actually have this artifact problem with. And yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have to like fix the font somehow, or just make something, because yeah, it's missing some letters as well. Okay, so yeah, but the dialogues are looking better now. So there's still this place where we have to select an answer, so that hasn't been updated yet, so we have to do that. So let's go into our dialogue code, and this is responses, yes, here. Okay, so yeah, when we're in the process of making the dialogue, like all the UI sort of grid based in this tile grid, so I have to switch out this previous version, which was, well, this is the new version. The previous version went for the pixels. Hey, you'll buy them. How's it going? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's coming along. So the previous version used like the screen size, but now we have this sort of fixed size in a grid system, because if you're looking at the dialogue here, all these are sort of tiles that are in a set size. So now we say this is like, I don't know what it was, like 26, 29 or something wide, cells wide or tiles wide, and then 5 or 6 or something high. Yeah, so we have to replace this stuff. So let's see. We're not gonna have a height anymore since we're dealing with grids. So this will be nothing. Well, it's actually, yeah, like this. And I think instead of doing this, I'm gonna do from int, and this is a U size. A little bit more terse there. Oh yeah, and I need to specify X as well. Okay, so the responsive size, I'm taking a quarter of the original size, but I don't think we're gonna do that anymore. I think we need to take the same idea that we do in the other sort of, when you choose from a list, we calculate the max length of the list items, and then we use that to calculate the size. So let's actually just grab this calculation and we can just copy it in. Oops. Here. But now these are responses, and I probably should like generalize this, but there's only like 2 places where we have this right now. So response, and this is response, I believe, dot label. Yes. Okay. And then here we have responses width. So the size then is going to be the same as the option size here. We have 2 width, which is like the borders, and then the actual width of the letters. But we also here we divide it by 2 because the letters are actually half a tile in size. And then we add 1 because there was some weird issue with the font, that it's actually larger than a tile or half a tile. And then the Y is the number of options plus 2 because that's the sort of the border. Okay, so now we have that. And the position is gonna be, let's see. Yeah, it's the same thing as the options. So I'm just gonna copy this now as well. It's basically gonna be the same thing. Let's see, where are we here? And we don't need a draw system. We're not gonna do this. This is now responses rectangle. And we already have the position, so let's remove that. Responses position. And responses size. And the rectangle we remove. And this is responses. And responses size. Alright. So now we should have the rectangle border thing here. Okay, and one second. Alright, so now we this is where we draw the list here. I think we're just gonna do the same thing here. We're just gonna copy the options stuff. So we'll just copy this over because it's yeah. I should probably make this into a separate function. But yeah. Now this is response. This is responses rectangle. This is the dialog current response. Responses size. The position is correct. This can be renamed to response response rectangle. Yeah, I mean, let's just do it. Let's actually, guess, yeah, let's just make this draw list. And what we need is the items, or the items. Okay. We can't really have a list. I mean, we have a list of stuff that has like labels on them somewhere, but we don't really have a... We could pass in a, I guess, a comp time function to grab the label out of the items. We could construct a list of all the labels, but that seems like a way too much work. I guess we could do the function thing. I mean, it's probably faster to make the list, maybe, of labels. And it's maybe a little bit... Yeah, let's just make this, and then current, or I guess highlighted item. Let's make this, I guess, nullable if you don't want it to be highlighted. Alright, so we're basically gonna copy everything from the options thing. Okay, so we need to do this. The target, what is that? This is an entity. Wait. Oh, because it shows the name of the thing. Okay, yeah. So this is actually draw a list with the dialogue as well. But let's actually not do that. So that's the responsibility of something else. So we actually want to have a position then. Okay, so let's yeah, and we don't have this. So dialogue component options, yeah, we don't have these. We don't do this, and we probably don't care about this. But this one we can do. So this is going to be 4 labels. Label, yeah. Okay. So we got the max length. Turns largest number. I was thinking if there was like the max length in here, but this is only for numbers, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So we got max length. We've got the item width. This. Oh wait, no. This is the rect width, I think. Yeah. Rect size, rect position, which is position so this is kind of weird because this anchors to the right of something. So I guess we just hard code that for now. Bottom right anchor. So that's the anchor, like bottom right position that we want to anchor it to, because that we kind of calculate it to be at that position. I guess you could make some generic thing there, but I'm just gonna do that for now. And then this is the actual rectangle. Okay, that's maybe a bad name right now, because we got something else called rect from before. But that's gonna be the rectangle there, okay. And then we go through labels, or there. And then this is a label. The position should be fine. Now this one is the current or highlighted item. Not sure how this works, if this is nullable, if this is, it should be still be valid. Or I mean, I don't know if it is, but it feels like you should be able to compare it like that. Then we've got everything like that. This is the item rectangle. All right. And then we got the text color. If this is the highlighted item. And that's it, I think. Okay, so now we got a more like generic function that draws the list. So now let's try and use it. So let's go to draw options. And we need option labels now. So we basically want to map options into the labels, but I don't think there's a, yeah, Sig doesn't work like that. So we have to define this as a list like this. And the length is the same as options.length. I'm not sure. Can we do this? Because this, is this a slice? Then it's not like comp time known, I don't think. It has to be comp time known for that. So I think we'll do wait, allocator, and then we allocate so the type that we want to allocate is actually this. This is a string, right? So, and then, or a slice of U8, which is constant as well. And then we can take options length there. Let's just keep catch and reachable there. We defer allocator free on that. Option labels. Yeah, and now we can use that to actually draw the list. So we draw a list, pass the registry. The bottom right anchor is going to be the position, which is this position of the bottom right of that rectangle there. Then we have labels, which is option labels. We have the highlighted item, which is going to be choose option dot current option. And we can, I believe, now just delete all this. There we go. Now that one is a bit more simple to look at. And now we can also do that for the responses. So here we can do responses labels, or response labels, well, it doesn't really matter. Let's grab an allocator. Oops. Allocator, allocate strings, and it's going to be responses dot length, catch unreachable. Okay. And then we defer to free those. Oh yeah, did I forget to actually populate this? Yeah, I'm not actually populating this, so we need to go through each options And option labels. We need also the integer there for the index. Option labels I is equal to option info dot. Why I'm not getting. Okay, but it's option.label. I'm not sure why I don't get autocomplete there. Okay, so now we're actually populating that. So let's go back here. I will do the same thing here. And this is a response dot label instead. Response labels. There we go. Now we got those. And now we can just call draw list. Yeah, this is also rectangle bottom right. Response labels. And the highlighted line in this case is active dialog.current response. There we go. Now we can delete. Let's see. We don't want to delete that. We do need to calculate this. No, wait. We don't actually need to do that. Okay. There we go. Wait. What happened there? Oh yeah, because I copied the other thing as well. Okay. Yeah, so we just delete all that. Alright, now we're using our generic function there instead. This guy, oh yeah. You don't need the screen, and we don't need you. And oh yeah, this should actually be a list of strings and not something else. Okay. There we go. Cool. Whoops. What's going on here? No member name option. Oh yeah, this needs to be label now. Okay, so let's try this out. My controller keeps disconnecting, so I have to connect it again. Come on. Why isn't it connecting now? Okay, let me see if the cord does a better job. Maybe it's low on battery or something. I don't know. Okay, now. No? Okay. No? What's happening? Okay, let me quit and start. Okay, I have to check my Windows things. Devices. Okay, it says connected. It's like not doing anything. Why is it acting up now? Maybe Maybe I'll put some keyboard controls for backup. Yeah, I mean it's easy enough because I have everything in these functions. So is something input on? Yeah, so here's all the, let's see. Here are all the things. So we can add like an if for the keyboard. So is key down or pressed, or no, down, and it should be, I don't know, left is A, return true. If D is down, this is right. Jump, I guess we can do up. And this should be pressed now instead. And this one should be down. Attack, I don't know. Attack, I guess. Let's do right control or something. I don't know. Combo. Let's do shift, I guess. This one, I don't care. Okay. Is that all? No, we have duck. And that should be key down, so S. Climb is key down, W. Climb up, climb down. Oh yeah, so it's also, so this is or this key down, key S, and then this one is S for down. Menu, I guess E or something, I don't know, just to have this backup. So okay, now it looks like the controller is actually working. I don't know, let's try it. It's much nicer to work with the controller. I'm just gonna test. Oh, I see. Of course you can't have jump and climb as the same buttons. I cannot even jump from here now. But yeah, and duck doesn't work. Oh, it's only press, I guess. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, this should be down. And jump should actually be, let's do space, I guess. Space. Okay. And then actually, let's do left control. Okay. Yeah, so now it's space for jump. And we can attack. Huh. Why is the sound so weird? Okay, something something is really weird with stuff. Whoa. Okay. How do I? Oh. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna leave the keyboard controls for now. Why is this not working? Why is my controller not working? It worked yesterday. It says it's connected. I don't understand what's going on. Let me see here. Okay, let me check. No. Devices. Like, how do I check? Gamepad? No. I thought there was some place where you can like calibrate like gamepads and stuff. Where was that? I can't find my way around Windows settings anymore. Gamepad, game mode? No. Like, why isn't that under gaming? Captures, controller, keyboard shortcuts? No. View more devices. Like, I want the old device. What's it called? Devices and device manager, maybe. Pointing, no. Keyboard imaging. It's like it doesn't show up here really. There. Events. Update driver. Okay, let me try and update. No. It was already installed, I guess. That doesn't work, so but there was one setting where it's like game controllers. Oh yes, okay, yeah, here. Yeah, it doesn't respond. Okay, did I start it at a weird mode maybe? Okay, because I believe this controller has like several weird like modes. It says connected. I'm gonna try and remove the device and connect again. turn it off. Okay. Turning it on. Adding the device. Connecting. Doesn't work. Wait. To restore to factory settings, hold start button for 8 seconds. Okay. Because I know there was some, if you start it. While holding down some buttons, it enters like a special mode or whatever. Okay. Add device. Why is this so difficult now? What happened? Like, it was working perfectly for so long, and now all of a sudden it like, I'm gonna decide to not work anymore. And it's gonna be impossible for you to add me as a device again. Maybe I can do cord. Connect the cord instead. Will that work? Controllers. No. Okay. Oh my god. Maybe I should just restart the computer. I mean, it was already restarted, so maybe that has something to do with it, actually. I don't usually restart my computer, I usually have it on all the time. But now, all of a sudden, it decided to restart for some reason, and now my controller doesn't work anymore. Okay, I'll see if I can fix this off stream instead. For now, we've got this thing working, but I don't have a button for the talking stuff. Menu, we have, yeah, here, dialogue. Alright, so here we also have to add these things. So this key down, and this is down, so S, and this is W. Cancel, I guess. I don't know. Accept left control. Okay, there we go. Now let's see if we have some keyboard controls that we can use. Okay. Whoa, okay, yeah, that it needs to be pressed instead, sorry. And this also needs to be, whoops, pressed. There we go. Actually, this should actually emulate the same as holding down on a... So let's actually do down here. Because we have like edge detection on these, so these functions are actually, yeah, already checked for that, so that should be fine. Okay, so now I can talk to this guy. And I can go out, I can go in here. Okay, there you can see now the responses are shown like this as well. And that also means that our generic sort of draw list function works as well. Okay, cool. No thanks. And then we'll talk a little bit. So, yeah, another thing here. You see the text goes way beyond the screen. So what I'm thinking is it's probably pretty easy actually to do a, well, easy, maybe not super easy, but I want to have some sort of automatic text wrap for the dialogue. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it now though, but okay. But the thing that we were focusing on is completing this whole cycle with quests, accepting quests, and turning them in and stuff. So I think actually I want to try something here. Okay, yeah, that still works. So I think what we'll do is we'll do the, oh yeah, the notifications. Notifications should also be updated now. So the dialogue system I think is fully converted to this new like tile-based, grid-based UI system. So now I think we actually have that as a to-do thing. Menus still, we don't have that. I didn't actually add that as a to-do here. Wait, oh yeah, I added it, but it wasn't true. But now it's complete. Okay. Anyway, so notification system, yeah. So let's see, we have draw here, which is what we are interested in, and we have these different drawing functions. So let's start with this one, and basically everyone is calling the same thing with some modifications, so that's great, except for draw new area, which is a bit different. But these ones are quest modifications, so they share a lot of things, a lot of stuff. And what we want to do is, yeah, we have this local function for drawing borders, so we can just delete this because we have now and we can delete those as well because we have all of this is now handled through the UI system. So let's see, tile scale, yeah, we don't need that, we don't need to do this. So this is nice because this seems like it's already in sort of a grid based system, so we don't need to do anything like this. So let's actually just do this and start with that, and we'll see where we end up. We don't need to worry about the screen. We're starting at sort of the top left, and I believe this is anchored at the right, or the, I think it was the top right. Yeah. So we don't really have a way of anchoring. Maybe we should actually extend the UI system to do that. Because what we could do is we could just define here max size, or like tile grid size, or grid size, I guess we could call it grid size. So this one should determine like what is our maximum grid size that we have on the screen. And so you can anchor things at different positions. Maybe we can even I was thinking if we could use the screen size as well, but I don't think I want to do that, because then the tiles won't be aligned. Grid size. So we should probably use a set grid size, and I believe we should just take let's see. Well, let's see. What is the? It's 19. No. 1920 over 16. But then it's also over 4, so it's gonna be 30. So 16 times 4. Yeah. So we'll probably have to floor this. So we'll do... I'm just gonna double check here. This is 1920 over 16 times 4. Yeah, 30. Okay, so that's the maximum amount of tiles we can have in our grid on the screen. So that's like the yeah, the maximum there. All right. Now what I'm thinking is we could probably have defined rectangles that you can sort of, and we're not using this anymore, so let's get rid of this. But what my idea is that you can have like anchor rect. So you would have a rectangle which is the size of something. You get a rectangle back, and then you also have an anchor point and the anchor direction, I guess you could call it. So this would be a vector, and this would be an anchor direction. What is an anchor direction? Well, it is a union, no, an enum. And now you can have either top left, which is like the standard, I guess, the default. You can have top center, I guess. Well, actually, well, let's not get fancy for now. Let's do top right, bottom left, bottom right. So let's have these anchor points for now. And we're gonna switch on that. And it's like, let's do a return. So if we have top left, then we simply return top left is anchor point, bottom right is anchor point plus size. This is whatever. Actually, let's do this. And then this would be this. And then we return top left, this. Top left. Bottom right is... I think you can even do a tuple like this, and then top left, bottom right, and this is top left, and this is bottom right, and then this one is true. There. Oh yeah, like this. Okay, so that's top left, and then we have top right. So top left is like it's more like it takes the anchor point and then you expand to the bottom right. Top right means... No, wait, but that's the same... Maybe this should be like expand direction instead of... Because anchor direction is like it's kind of ambiguous on what it should be. I think this should be like expand direction instead. Yeah, let's do that. Wait. So if it's expanding to... This is now bottom right. Yeah. It's expanding to the bottom right. Then that means... Or maybe the anchor point is... Okay. I'm changing... Wait, am I changing my mind? Because if the anchor point it's in the top left or the bottom or the top, if it's on the top right, then it expands to the bottom left. Maybe it is easier to think about expand anchor points like that. Because if it's in the bottom right, that means it's gonna expand up and left. No, let's do expand direction instead. Yeah. Okay, so that's bottom right. So that's sort of the standard normal thing. Let's do expand to the bottom left. So this is actually now, we need to take the anchor point. So this is the top left. So this is going to be the anchor point minus, because the anchor point is now at the top left. Wait, yeah, I mean it doesn't really matter. Wait, the anchor point, yeah, so the anchor point is at the top right now because we're expanding to the bottom left, and so we're gonna subtract the size, but it's only gonna be the X component, and the size, or the bottom right, I guess, is gonna be... Actually, you know what? We only need top left here. Yeah. And the bottom right is always gonna be top left or plus size. Okay, so we don't even need to we don't even, yeah, we just need to calculate where is the top left. Okay, if you want to expand to the top left, actually let's do top right first, because that's less stuff, I think. If you want to expand to the top right, that means the X position should be correct, but the Y position needs to be subtracted now. Or wait, no, it needs, yes. So from the anchor point, where do we go? We go upwards, and that's negative, yeah. Size times over Y now. And we expand to the right, so the X position is already good. And now for top left, we simply do negative size. So both of the axes will be negative. Okay, so now we get this anchor rectangle. And what we can do with that now is we can go, for example, back to our dialogue here. And we can go to draw options. Wait. Okay, let's go here. Draw responses. And now we draw a list. And we can actually now say this is the anchor point. And we can say anchor or expand direction is an anchor. Well, this is UI, anchor direction. And we calculate the size, and then we actually get the items rect is going to be equal to UI.anchor rect. So we have the size here. The point is anchor point. And the expand direction is bottom left. There we go. Wait, actually, we don't actually know the expander, so we put it there, and then here we have to specify now the anchor point is bottom left. But now we can actually expand in any direction that we want. So now it's fully sort of customizable in terms of position and where it ends up and stuff. Okay, cool. So let's now see if this actually works still. Oh, we got some compiler errors here. So the size is a vector. This should be a vector. And oh, right. So we don't actually need to make it into a tuple anymore. So let's get rid of that. Oops. There we go. Okay. And here we got some weird stuff. Oh yeah. We deleted these things. Okay. So actually, let's do UI. We need to import UI. Let's just fix this real quick here so we can test this. Border rect textured, which needs the registry and the rectangle. You don't exist anymore. Let's just do this, I guess. But now we get a bunch of stuff in here. Okay. Actually, let's just do this for now, because I'm just gonna test if it works. Oops. And we also have this. Okay, there we go. So now I can run this. It's so annoying that the controller doesn't work, but okay. Anyway, okay, so yeah, this still works, and both the responses and the options work. And we can open, oops, the menu. We can, yeah, so great. That still works. Cool. I'm just gonna fix the open menu thing. Menu input on. This should be pressed and not down. Okay. So let's go back to our notifications now, and we can go here and we can do this. Whoops. Select everything. No. Undo that. Okay, so back to this. Now we have our rectangle. This rectangle should actually be now used with the anchor point thing. So what is our anchor point? Another thing we can do is we can say absolute anchor rect, and this would sort of catch one of the corners of the screen, and we do expand direction, anchor direction here. So we will return anchor rect and give the size and the anchor point, which we need to calculate. So we'll do switch on direction, and we'll do bottom right. So this is going to be the top left corner, so this is just going to be 0. Bottom left is going to be at top right. So this is going to be only X, and then we have the grid size, the X part of grid size, and this is, let's do anchor point here. Anchor point is equal to this. Okay, so that's at the top right. Now we have top right, which is the bottom left. So it's always like the mirror or the opposite of whatever we have. Bottom left is let's see. Yeah, my brain just reset here. So okay. Bottom left. Yeah, so this is gonna be only y, vy, I think. Grid size. Yeah, that makes sense, I think, because bottom and then left is already 0, and then we have top left, which is bottom right, so this will just be the grid size, I think. It might be a one-off error here, but we'll notice that. So now you can actually make a rectangle that's sort of anchored at one of the corners of the screen. And let's now go back to here. So we can use that here. So we can say actually, we could actually just say position instead. Anchor position, and we just return this. So we don't actually make a rectangle, we make an AVD, because we want to modify it a little bit. And we don't need a size for that. Okay, cool. Alright, so back to here. Okay, now let's see. So the position is going to be we don't need direct size and stuff there, plus the margin. So we do want to have the margin. So it's basically going to be margin plus, and then absolute anchor position, which is going to be, so we want to anchor, we want to expand is what we want to do to the bottom left. So now it's going to be at the top right. I'm not sure if the original was at the top right or at, no, it's at the left bottom. Wait. It's going to the left and then down. No, it's at the top right, yeah? Yeah, I think so. So it should be bottom left, yes. Okay. Then we have the rect. When the rect is actually, we need to do anchor rect now. And the size we have here, the anchor point is this. This is the anchor point. Let's call it that instead. Come on, anchor point. And then we have expand direction is bottom left again. Okay. And I think now we should see the correct anchor thing. We just need to fix this stuff down here. So this is going to be, we have the header and the title. The header is getting, we're getting the header from there. So let's do now draw text, and this is just draw text, yeah. The position is text offset. Format is going to be header. Option. It's not going to be center. The color is light gray, is standard. The scale is normal. So nothing fancy there. Okay, and then let's do the other thing, which is going to be 2 rows down. And that's going to be the title, which is, okay, it's notification dot title. So we don't need these things anymore. And that's also light gray. So now we've done that. Now we just need to worry about this text offset. And I think what we can do is we just say top left, because it's a grid base. Now we can just add 1 here. So that should be good. Okay, we don't need screen, we don't need draw system, we don't, wait, oh yeah, that's an old error. Okay, so now the draw quest notification should work. So let's go in and see if we can see it. No, controller still doesn't work. It lights up, but it doesn't actually work. Okay, there we go, but it's a little bit wrong. So it might be, wait. Oh yeah, maybe the margin is, yeah, the margin is wrong, I think. The margin needs to be negative there, so it's like we don't really have the, maybe we could have like an offset in here to say that how far, like put in the margin in the function so that you can always have like a margin there. Okay, it doesn't really matter. So let's try this again. So we'll accept the quest. Okay, there we go. We need it to be a little bit larger though. So let's add a couple of, let's add like 3 tiles. Okay, let's add 2 more tiles. There we go. And maybe it should be somewhere else, because we're seeing the notification, we're seeing the dialogue over the notification. So maybe it should be in like a bottom left or something. I don't know. So it should expand to the top right instead, and then this one needs to be this, I think. But that's kind of nice. The only thing you need to do is to change is just move those things around, and now it should be at the bottom left instead. So there we go. Okay, and now we can move around our business here. Okay, so you can actually accept the quest more than once, but that's another thing that we need to fix. So, okay, the quest notifications are now done. Let's do the new area notification now. And this one is a bit different because it doesn't have a border thing. It's actually a little bit tricky now also, because I want the text to sort of be, I mean, maybe a big border is actually does the job anyway. So I don't think we need the screen for this. We don't need a tile scale thing. Let's have a margin which is like -1. Now we need to do the same thing here, so we need an anchor point. But this is gonna be actually now in the center, but let's actually do it in the bottom right this time. And then we have a little bit of margin there, and then let's actually do -1 like that. We could do -2 actually on Y to get it sort of up a little bit more noticeable, I guess. Alright, and that's the position, so we got that. Now we need the rectangle, which is going to be anchor rect. The size, we don't really have the size. We need to make some sort of size here, so it's going to be something times 1. Let's just try something and we'll work it out. The anchor point we have, oops. The expand direction is bottom right. Alright, we don't need to do with the buffer. The font size is going to be the same this time. We have, so we can probably just do like this. So this is going to be UI dot draw text. Let's do this. And then we have position is going to be the rect top left. And then I guess we add 1. Oh yeah, this should actually be like 3. Okay. Maybe this should be like the width of the text. Nah. Okay. And then draw left, or this is gonna be +1. And the notification title, yes. We don't have a error. And we have some stuff here. We don't need to do anything of that. We could scale it, but I don't think we really need to do that. We don't need to do this, we don't need to do this, and we don't need to do this. So it's very, very easy. We're just drawing a text. We are, well, actually we need to draw the border as well. And yeah, that should be it. Okay. We don't actually have this notification though, so we need to force it here. Draw a new area. And it's going to be new area. The title is going to be The Village. I'm not sure what the village is actually going to be called in the game, but okay, so we see it in the wrong position. Interesting. Oh yeah, the expansion is bottom right. So my mind was thinking anchor point, like Yeah, I was thinking the other thing. Maybe that's better actually. Instead of thinking where should it go, like where should it expand instead of where should it like go. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it fits in. Maybe it should actually be the length of the thing. Because I kind of want it to be in the center. And a little bit different from the other. Maybe I should make a special border for that one. Which is like a different color and stuff. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we could do like center, but the thing is, the text is gonna end up in a different like position. But maybe that I don't really care about that actually. Let's try just set center here, and then the position will be the middle. So it's gonna be like center. Yeah, and since it's 3 in length, so can I do... Let's take the center and we do... plus... No, we don't do anything to the X, but the Y we actually want to do negative... No, it's center. It's supposed to be centered, yeah. So we take the center, yeah. Okay. And then we can actually maybe even lower this to 2. Center is true. Yeah. That doesn't look centered to me. Did I actually implement that correctly? I don't think so. It doesn't look that way. Maybe I'm counting the tiles wrong here. If it's centered, oh yeah, this should actually be like the size is actually like 0.5. So we'll do tile size, and then actually we can do 0.25 here because we wanna, yeah, I mean this is technically if you want the tile size to be correct, this is gonna be the correct tile or text size. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Now that looks better. But it's like you can see the tiles are actually, well, yeah, they are not like lining up. The text is not lining up with the tiles. If you would draw like a grid of all the tile, like the tile grid here, you would see that, well, for one, this is in the middle of, this is in between the tiles and stuff. But I think I don't really care about that. It's more important to have it look better, I guess. And I probably wanna have this in the middle as well, and like in a different border, and then there's gonna be some like fancy animation, I think, for like a new area that opens up. Maybe even the text will have like, you will have like larger text that shows up. I don't even know if we're gonna have a border actually for that. I just have it like this for now. I just know that I probably wanna fancy it up a bit. I mean, most of the graphics anyway is like sort of placeholdery. But yeah, I'm not trying to focus on making things look super well. I'm just trying to make things look somewhat of a game, so that you actually get a feel for how it's supposed to be. Like, instead of having these blocks, like I could have like prototyped with just blocky graphics, and I've done that before, but not like a full project. But it just feels, I mean, you don't get the correct sort of feel of the game when you do that. I don't think. I don't know. It just, I'm trying this sort of method out, and sure, it's a little bit slower, but you actually, I think you get more motivated when you see things like fall into place, and you see this nice looking border instead of the sort of gray bordered black box that we had before. I might even change it from being black background to something else. I'm not sure. Let's see. Anyway, maybe a texture background. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, now we have all the notifications in the new sort of grid system, so we can tick that off. Awesome. What else? I think we want to do the quest stuff now. Oh yeah, the menus as well. Okay, let's do the menus first. So menu, we have the UI here already, so that's good. Alright, so now with our new sort of tools in hand, we can more easily work ourselves through this. We are making a menu rect, and this rectangle is basically the entire screen. So I don't think we really need to do anything with that, unless we want to have a border that spans the entire screen. But we can't actually really have that because well, I mean, we could do, I mean, because the grid doesn't fit the entire screen anyway. It's like, it depends on how I want it to be. But yeah, I think, no, let's just have the screen. I don't even think we have to like make this black thing here, because we have in the game, we are actually clearing the screen every frame, I think. Or are we? Are we doing it here? No. Are we doing it here? So here we're actually clearing it. Okay. So we are clearing it to black. So we don't really need to like paint it black in the menu here. So we could just remove this actually. Yeah. And we don't need the screen. And we don't need to draw, and we don't need this. Okay. Nice. Okay. So, but for the menu, I believe we probably want to use the screen now. Or we can do, in the UI, we can do like getting the center, like we could, where's the UI here? We could do like for the anchor point, we could do like maybe top center. Now I'm thinking anchor points again, and not actually expand directions. Yeah, we don't have like center stuff here. I should probably reverse this to be like anchor point instead, or anchor direction. What the hell should this be called? Okay, let me just look something up here. anchor point. No, that's not correct. Anchor positioning. Yeah, okay, whatever. I was trying to figure out what to call this thing. Okay. Anyway. So what I want to have is like I want to get a point which is the center top, basically. Let's make a new thing here just to make this work here. So it's the same concept here, but this is like the top center. Okay, and then we have a function which gives you a grid point and a vector, and you give this a grid point. Yeah. You get a grid point. You get, yeah. Okay, whatever. It's a bit weird naming here, but then we switch on this thing, and if it's top center, then we just return UI grid size, and we need to then we can do init. So x will be half and y is gonna be 0, so that's the top center, yeah. And we return function. Okay, yeah. So I guess we can call this like target. There we go. Now we have something to hook onto here. I guess this could be called like anchor point instead. It's sort of like this, except it's gonna be the point, the anchor point instead. Let's actually call this anchor point. Yeah. And we need these as well. Okay. So let's rename this to anchor point. Get anchor point. And this is actually gonna be anchor point now. Get anchor point position, I guess. Okay, and then top center is whatever we had. So it's like only x half. So that's gonna be top center. All right. Because y is gonna be 0. X is gonna be half of the total size. All right. And let's see if we got some errors from that. No. Okay. So now we should get the top thing here. So UI get anchor point position, top center. All right, so we got that. Next, yeah, we're actually drawing that center is true. Okay, let's see where this lands us. I think we have to move it down a little bit. wait, where's the, okay, yeah. So it's not actually centered correctly. Also, it's like scaled a little bit, so let's not scale it, actually. Doesn't, yeah, it doesn't look like the scaling works with this either. Yeah, the text size, this should be scaled as well. So let's actually do scale there. But I don't think I want to scale it. Yeah, we need to move that down a little bit. So this will be +1. Why is the camera moving like that? I need to fix that as well. Okay, now this looks nice. Quest log. Okay, cool. Let's go now here. Yeah, draw quest log. Yes. So we have the title. That works. Great. We don't need the screen, so let's actually remove that. There. And I don't think, yeah, we're not gonna need the screen for anything. There we go. We have the quests. We have active quests. We have alright, so here's the item stuff. We could actually do a draw list thing here, which we have in dialogue, so we can actually move that over to the UI now. This is so generic that it's, yeah, we can actually move this to UI. That's really cool, actually. Yeah, we don't really need any special stuff there. So now this is UI.drawList instead. Awesome. And what else? Yeah. So we got active quests. Let's do like quest labels. And this is gonna be allocator allocate strings. And it's gonna be active quests length. Unreachable. And let's see. Yeah, and we also need to free this later. Okay, so we also now need to go to active quest. We need to populate quest labels. Oh yeah, we need to have the index. And that's gonna be quest. Wait. Quest. Why am I not getting this now? Quest.quest. Oh yeah, this is actually quest info. Quest label. There we go. The LSP, I swear, it changes its behavior from day to day. It's like, it's, yeah. I'm not gonna complain. It's nice that we have something at least. But it's kind of funny. That's why I'm saying it. It's like you can never trust that it's gonna behave the same way. It's kind of funny actually. Okay, so the list, yes. So now we want to draw this list. So we don't actually need to do any of this stuff. Yeah. So we could just remove that. And now we can say draw list. Why am I not getting this? Is it not public? Oh, it's not public, okay. Okay, so now we get draw list here, yeah. Registry, okay, so anchor point is going, so I'm not sure actually where the anchor point should be. It should probably just be below quest log. Like, it should probably be like top left or something, and then down like 2 tiles or something like that. So let's actually do, this is the list anchor point. Let's have it at that for now. The expand direction is gonna be to the bottom right. Labels we have, so that's the quest labels. Highlighted item is quest log dot current selected quest, which is a node. So that's perfect. All right, and we don't have list anchor points, so let's define that. Now, yeah, this is going to be the anchor point, get anchor point position of top left, and actually this is now wrong. Yeah, we need to update these, but let's finish off this first. Oh yeah, we don't need the draw system. That's true. Okay, so it's gonna be top left, and then we want to add I guess we could add a little bit of padding as well. So let's add like 1 and maybe 3. All right. The other thing is this now. So we need to update these to be different. So this will actually be the anchor point now. So top left is actually going to be bottom right and so forth. So I think we will copy these and just reverse the names of them. So top right is going to be bottom left. Bottom left is going to be top right, excuse me. Top, this is going to be top left. There we go. Okay, and now we can go to yeah, now we need to update, you know, where we actually use the thing. So we actually need to go, I think here we have one place here. No. Okay, we're not using it there. We are using it somewhere though. Or are we? Well, here we are. That's the expand. Okay, so we're not actually using. When I thought that we were maybe. Oh yeah, maybe for notification we were actually using this. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is actually not this. We need to reverse this as well. So this is bottom right now. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the. This one is bottom left for the quest notifications. Okay. I think that's it. And then for the menu, what are we done here? Yeah, I think we can test this now. Okay, so this still looks good. Let's do the quest. Yeah. And let's enter the menu. There we go. Excuse me. Yeah. So we got this border with all the the active quests. I think maybe we should expand that to like be more like fill the screen up so you can sort of see. And maybe we should even have board like. I was thinking maybe we should have borders between, so that you can see it's like a list. And I'm not sure about that because I don't know. Maybe it doesn't fit the style. I don't know. But anyway, that is nice. So let's actually expand this a little bit. So the height of this container of the quest is probably gonna be, so draw list. This doesn't actually allow you to set the height, but we could change that, I guess. We could have like draw list options to make it a little bit easier to deal with now that we have so much stuff. So let's add expand direction, which is anchored. Actually, I need to specify UI because we are in that. We can do highlighted item. Okay, so let's remove these and have them as options now instead. All right. And the now we can set default. So the default of expand direction is bottom right. This, I guess we can set it to null as default. Okay. And this is now options.expand direction, and this is now options, highlighted item, and this is also that. Okay. And yeah, now we can actually add things like text color, like item color. We can have highlighted item color, which, so this one is like light gray, this one is black, and then highlight, so highlighted background color is also, I think, light gray. So now we can like do all those things, and this one is now options background color. This one is options highlighted tick or item color. This one is item color. There we go. Okay, so what? So okay, so I added a bunch of stuff, but what I wanted to do was to add, what was it? Oh yeah, like if you want a set height, if you want to have like a set height, and I think in the end I want to have a scrolling thing here as well, so you kind of, it shows you can scroll through a list of items. If the list of items is larger than what's the max height, then it's gonna show that. So I think I can actually calculate a maximum height, because it can go all the way down to the bottom of the screen. I guess what you could set is a height. So this will be a nullable f3, or yeah, I mean it should really be an integer, I guess, but I'm gonna keep it f3 to just be simple here. So if it's null, then it means it's sort of like the automatic. It's gonna set it to whatever height the options length or the item's length is. If you set it to some height, it's gonna keep it at that height, and if you have more items, we're gonna have to have a scrolling mechanic. But in order to have a scrolling mechanic, I think no. I was thinking maybe we need more state, but we do have highlighted item. And I think that's enough. So we're simply gonna calculate which items are gonna be visible based on the highlighted item. And I think highlighted item is always gonna be like in the center, as in the center as it can be. Okay. Yeah, let's update the place where we actually call this now. So this is, yeah, we have options. Expand direction is bottom left. The highlighted item, oops, is choose option, current option. Yeah. So now it's registry, anchor point, labels, and options. Okay. I will do the same thing here. Expand direction. Now it's cut. Now it's active dialog. Cut response. And this is the bottom left. And the same thing here. Expand direction. So this is bottom right. Oops. And this. Okay. Cool. Right. So this one, I would want to set height to something like, I mean, really I want to set it to be like sort of the max maybe. But we're just going to set it to, well, we have the maximum here. So this is the grid size. We'll take the Y component out of that. And then we do subtract the, I guess, the position. And then I guess we have some sort of padding there as well, or margin. Okay, so now we defined the size, but we're not actually, we haven't implemented it yet. So let's see. We have this one, the items rect, so rect size, yes. So now we actually have this as labels.length, so the length plus 2. So let's do height. I guess it's the U size. Sure. If options height, we get a height and we do something there, else it's going to be labels length plus 2. But if we have a height, then we can say int from float height. So maybe it's better if it's actually no, let's have it as a float when it comes in, and then we convert it here. But it's gonna be truncated or not. Well, yeah, it's gonna be truncated. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So we got height. So now we can use that instead here. Rect height. Actually, we probably should use plus 2 here instead, because, yeah. Well, actually, maybe not. maybe not. Okay. Okay, let's see how this looks now. Whoops. There we go. Okay, now we got this nice height. I mean, we should still check if these things works, and they do, so cool. And yeah, so we get this height now. The width seems a little small, so what is the width doing? Let's see. Where is... Well, okay, so we don't... Oh, because we don't have any active quests. That's right. Maybe we should have a minimum width as well. It looks a bit empty, like... It shouldn't really be... This should... I mean, the quest log should actually... The width should actually be set to something. It shouldn't be like... depending on the items in this case. So let's actually do the same thing for width. And it's like if we have a width, the max length is going to be the width times 2, I guess. So we don't really need to calculate a... So let's actually do rect width like this instead. And we'll put this in here. And this now we break that as well. Actually, we don't need to. Wait, this is not equal. Okay, there we go. Okay, it doesn't know. Oh, because this... Okay, now it knows, I think. Yeah. Cool. Then... Do we really need to set that? Okay. Yeah. Oh. Then we have max length. Oh yeah, because we're using it here. Okay. So, we're gonna say if we have a width, we're gonna grab that, otherwise we're gonna do this. Okay, if we have a width, we're just gonna break with that. So that's it. Okay, now we can actually set width here as well, and it's gonna be I'm just gonna say 16. So that means 2 tiles are gonna be sort of used up by the borders, and then you're gonna have the maximum amount of letters in a quest label or a quest title is going to be 14 times 2, so 28 letters, or actually, well, symbols, well, including spaces, you know. The maximum length is going to be 28, which should be good enough, I hope. I'm not going to implement like ellipses. I don't think. Variable. Oh, so it actually has to be use size here. Interesting. I mean, I knew it complained about it, but in my mind I think, well, why couldn't it just deal with that? Okay, that's way too much, actually. Because I want, in the left side, I want to have this list of quests, but then on the right side I want to have like the quest details. So we're gonna lower this. I mean, I guess 8, so that's gonna be like 12 characters maximum for... Yeah, maybe we could stretch it to 10. I mean, we don't really have that much Yes, now you see this mysterious box here, which is I like that. Okay, and then so that's the list, and we also want to draw. Now it's very easy to actually just draw the quest details as well. So actually, do you want to keep this box, or do we want to draw both boxes or just one box? If we have something highlighted, let's just have one box for now, and then once we've highlighted something, we actually draw the other box. So let's accept this quest, and now we have this. Oh, not even this one has enough letters actually. Oh, maybe, you know what, maybe we could have different entries for this. So you have one, you could have this at the center maybe even, and then when you enter, you sort of select the quest and you enter the quest and you get into a new page or new like screen which shows the details of the quest. Yeah, that could be a solution for this actually. So I think we still want to have a width though, but now we want to have sort of a minimum width. I mean, I guess what we could do is, if we don't have any items, we actually don't draw this. And then maybe we don't even do the height thing either. Okay, let's do that. And I will say if this is 0, we simply return. And we can do that actually already up here. We don't need to do much more than that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now we don't have any quests. The quest log is empty. We go here and we accept this quest. We have one quest. But I do want that to be in the center though. We don't really have an expand direction for center though. Okay, you know what? It's not that important. I'm not gonna deal with that right now. I might actually write it down just in case I forget it, but I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if this is gonna be like the final thing anyway. So, but this is now migrated, so that's nice. We don't really have quest details anyway right now, and I might add it though. Yeah, we need to do choose quest, and not sure why I put input in here. What else did I want to do? Quest log. Yeah, so the quest log, I need to do active quest list in center of screen. Okay, so let's do the quest details now. So I should probably add a new page or screen for that. So we will say current menu is going to be actually, we could still have quest log, but then we could have current quest details, maybe. Opened quest. Let's just have that. Opened quest. Okay. So if opened quest, so we still have like the quest log is like the main function for this. But then here it's like if we can do, wait, if we have a open quest, we do draw quest details, open quest, and we probably need these things as well. And then, yeah, we also return that. And we need to create this thing. Let's do that. This is draw quest details here. And now this is quest open quest, which is a use size. All right. And okay, we still want to do this, I think. Or actually, let's draw a different title. Oh. I guess we could do draw title format. So this would be format, and it's going to be comp time, and then args and a type, and this is args, and this is format. Now we can replace this by draw title format title. Okay. Now we can actually do format, and we can say quest details, and then this is going to be the quest thing. So we need to grab the quest somehow. So I think quest container maybe. Let's see. We need to have the active quests. Oh yeah. So we actually need these as well. So what we could do is we can move this up here, and we put these in here because we need them in both cases. The allocator we also need. There we go. And now we have active quests. So these guys are gonna be quest infos. Let's see. Yeah. I think it's constant as well. No? Well, it doesn't matter. They're not mutable anyway, so. Yeah, so this quest info, I'm just gonna check where this is. Okay, this is straight up in there, so we can just do this to get that. Okay, so now we have active quests there. We have open quests. Whatever, it doesn't need to be constant. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna change them anyway, so. So the quest that we're dealing with should be, we would only actually need the quest container now. So this should be the opened quest. Yeah, that's the actual quest that we're talking about. Actually, you know what? We don't really need the active quest anyway. We can just grab the quest here. So let's just do this, and we don't even, yeah, because it's like gonna be that anyway. So it's gonna be like this. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now we got that stuff. And here we just provide the label. Okay. Right. We also need to update the handle stuff. Where is that? Don't we have anything for that? Oh, wait. Where do we do this? Handle menu input. So, wait, return. Oh, here we go. Is menu input on? Okay. What do we do here? Handle input. Oh, I see. So we probably want to move this to the menu system and yeah. So we're always going to be able to exit the menu, I guess. And then to sort of cancel out. Then we probably don't need to do anything here. I think what we want to do is we want to say menu system.handle input. Yeah. So we remove this. Alright. But we don't have this. But let's remove that. Well, actually, we could technically back out of the menu as well, so I think we should keep that as well. Maybe this should sort of return if the player, if you want to exit or not. So let's should exit menu, and then if we do that. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now technically you could do this in the same frame if you hold the menu input and the back input at the same time. This will happen twice. Well, actually it won't, because this is going to be false. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we need to implement this now. Let's have it here, handle input. And this would return a bool, which says if it's true, we want to exit the menu. If it's false, we don't want to exit. So let's return false by default. And we don't really need any input. Maybe, yeah, we need the registry, maybe, yes, probably, yeah. Let's grab the registry. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to quit soon here, but let's see. So let's just do this inputs thing, and maybe we'll get to the quest details as well. But we need to we need to do so that you can actually select stuff in the quest menu. And so okay, so we have, so let's go to, we have in the dialogue, we do have stuff here. Maybe we should move this to UI as well, actually. like the input is input on and those things. Where is that thing? Yeah, here we have like accept and all this stuff. So this should actually, I think this should, we move this to UI. Definitely. Okay. We don't even need to change anything there. But now this is UI. UI. And yeah, the thing is, these things is like also sort of duplicated. It's like we want to have a generic thing for this as well, you know, because the draw list, the list thing, you could actually do this. So let's actually do this. Let's copy this and we will do this. Handle choose handle list input, I guess we can call it. And then we don't have choose option or this. Why do we need an allocator is my question. We have options. Let's remove this. We don't do anything with this. So we actually, this state, maybe we do need that state actually. Choose, well this is choose option though. I mean that's actually true, like the state, maybe it should be a difference. Maybe we should make some sort of generic state. So it could be like any type, and then it has to have these things. But we don't need this, we don't need you, we don't need you. Yeah, so we do have, we sort of have an sort of an interface or whatever here. And the current, so let's actually should we have it shouldn't be like option. I think what this should be is like the selected option is going to be returned. But this, well, here's cancel as well. I think what we do is we have an event, handle list input event, which is an enum, which is going to be either, actually it could be a union enum. So either we have select item, which is a usize, or we have cancel or accept. So we don't really know anything about these options. Oh wait, we do. Oh yeah, so what we do is we return here. But then we also want to do these. I think we'll do these we'll defer these. Yeah. And now we can just return this, but we still need the current option though. Let's actually do here, let's do current item or selected or highlighted item. And yeah, it can actually be null. So let's do this. If no wait. So if we press anything and highlighted item is null, well, if we have highlighted item, we can do this, and we return. Actually, this should be handle list event, input event. So this one is now select item. Item selected. Cancelled. Accepted. Accepted it. What's happening? Cancelled. Okay. This is actually going to be this. And then we have options. So we'll also put in the length here. Okay. Here we do return cancelled. And here we do return accepted. This one is, yeah, same thing. Oh yeah, so else we want to return, wait, no, this is where we return this. If we don't have, no wait, I'm stupid. This is where we return this. And then otherwise we return 0, because yeah, that's the well, actually, if the length is I guess what we could do is, if the length is 0, we can just return actually yeah, let's just return cancelled. Okay. And here we say if we have highlight item, then we return this. Okay, otherwise we also return 0. If down, if up is pressed, we should return this. But if length, yeah, if length is 0, we don't have that. Okay, so if you press up, you actually go from the bottom. I guess, I don't know. We could probably fine tune that behavior, but. Okay, and now this one is not used, so we don't really care about that. Okay, so now we have that. We can actually now here instead do switch on UI handle. Is it not public? No, it's not public, so let's make it public. Okay, handle list input. Now this one is going to be S. Is this a... yeah, it's already an pointer. The length is going to be options.length. The highlighted item is going to be choose option, current option. Actually, that could be a pointer. So we don't really need to handle that. That could be a pointer actually. So we could do this. But if it's a pointer, then it can't be null either. Okay, let's just not make it a pointer, because then you don't have to like set it down here. So we'll do this, and we get that, and now we have to say that this is equal to it's let's do that, and item selected, so that now that's a use as, yeah. And then we have accepted, so we do something there, and we have cancel, we do, I guess we don't do any, well, we do this. So player component, dialog, wait, player component, dialog, come on, dialog is equal to no dialog. And then accepted, we do all this. Okay. Now we don't need to do anything of like over here, and we don't need to do that. Okay. Oh yeah, and all these need to be public. There we go. Oh, this needs to be item selected as well. I mean, I guess we could do this. Oh wait, yeah. Wait. Return. There we go. Okay. Function. Okay. So if we reach down here, then we don't do anything. Oh yeah, so there's no event in that case. No event. And I guess maybe this... No. We simply cancel out if we have nothing going on. Okay. No event. There we go. Okay. So let's choose option. Let's do the same thing for response. So handle. So here we have active dialogue. We basically have the same thing for this as well. But this one, yeah, it's like the same thing. Let's do handle input there. We're gonna have, but now we have the responses. Wait, S is this one, yeah, and current response. Then this is current response. If we accept, we do something. If we cancel, we do something. Yeah, cancel is the same. Accept though is a bit different. So let's copy all of this. And let's make this a block. Okay. There. So we handle everything now. Let's get rid of this. And we don't need to do that. Okay, cool. So we're kind of generalizing that input there. I'm not sure about. I'm trying different, you know, patterns. I'm always up for trying different things and feeling out what works and what feels nice. And you don't always know beforehand or even after, you know, you've implemented it, if it feels good or if it's good in the long run, if it scales, if it's like, you know, proper good abstract stuff. It's something that you have to try and of course with some educated guesses and stuff, and the more you do, the more you learn what works and what probably will be bad, and you avoid the bad and you try to do the good. But it's always nice to try different like patterns and stuff, to try and find nicer ways of doing things. The bad thing about sort of abstracting about one like huge downfall or caveat, I guess, of abstracting things like this is, well, yes, it's nice if you know how to use it, but if you go away from the code a while and then you come back and then it's like, whoa, how does this work? And you have to like learn this sort of unique specific pattern. But I mean, once you've learned it, you can apply it to different things. So, but this, I get the feeling that this sort of thing was actually the only thing that we sort of hide in the details is this selection thing. The other stuff was basically just a switch. We turn this if into a switch. We return this event and we do sort of the same thing here, but we just listen to this. I mean, it looks maybe a bit nicer, and you can sort of more see the intention behind stuff, I guess. But you didn't really gain that much from it. It's just like, instead of typing this, you type is accepted input on, and that's kind of the same thing. So, well, we did also hide this, where it was these things. So it's like, yeah. And also now, if we want to apply something to all of the, that's one major upside though. If we want to apply something to all of the, like, choose from a list sort of functionality places that we have, we can actually do that from here. Although it might be a bit trickier sometimes. But yeah. Some sort of, you know, upsides and downsides from using abstractions like this. But I feel like it was repeated enough that we needed some sort of common functionality for it, at least. So yes. Now what do we do? So I guess we can test it. So I think after I got this working, I will have to call it here. Okay, yeah, that works. Waiting. Okay, no thanks. And there we go. So it still works. Everything works fine. So we can now use this to implement the menu input for choosing a quest. But I think my time is up, so I have to draw a line here and continue this some other time. Perhaps tomorrow. We'll see. But thanks to anyone who tuned in to watch. And yeah, have a good day and see you later. Bye bye.